How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good,
Good.
good. Can't complain. Well, I'm Coach Ina. I work with Coach Ware with jumps and hurdles for both Indiana Storm and North Central. So glad to have you here today to get to learn more about you and share you
Yeah.
beyond the
Thank you.
state
I'm
at this
happy to
point.
be
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah. So I appreciate you, reaching out on Instagram. That worked out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect timing.
I've been a listener of this for a while, so
Oh wow,
figured it'd be
that's
cool
awesome.
to get the chance to come on.
Yes,
Yeah, nice.
please.
Well, did you get the list of questions that we sent?
I did.
Okay. So we won't go straight through all of them, but we'll kind of bounce around there so you just have an idea of what we're gonna ask. But we do start out where you kind of like introduce yourself, tell us about your school, tell us about your accolades, all that type of stuff, and then we'll go from there. Sound
Okay.
good?
Yep.
All right. Carter will let you have at it.
All right. I'm Carter Cline. I'm a junior at Clinton Central High School. It's a small 1A school. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of close to Lafayette, so we have good competition with the big schools there. My accolades include multi-time all conference in track and cross country, and multi-time all county. I'm a regional qualifier cross country. Unfortunately, I missed out on that this year, but yeah, that's about all my accolades.
All right. Well, that works. Well, but Carter, well, tell us a little bit about what got you involved in running and track and field in particular, and what events you do and that type of thing.
So I started off playing soccer in elementary school, and I mean, I wasn't the greatest at soccer, but when it came to running, I could kind of just go the whole time. I know I would have more fun racing people going down the field to get the ball than really playing the game. So my mom said, you should go and try cross country. And
Mhm.
so I went out fifth grade year. I enjoyed it a lot. So I figured, hey, I love doing it here. I'd really love to do track, take a stab at it. And I did that. My school was small enough that I was able to compete in most every meet. So I just kind of found my love for racing there. And just going against the same people every week, just building bonds there.
Mhm. And what specific events, Carter, are you doing in track and field? Because you're doing both cross country and track. That's super cool.
So I'm a very distance oriented athlete. Unfortunately, just being in such a small area, I'm kind of forced to run the 4x4 up.
Uh-huh. You say unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think of myself as a sprinter. The 800 is about the fastest I can go. I think my
Okay.
best event is probably the 3200.
Hmm.
I enjoy the mile the most though, just watching it, competing in it.
Okay.
That's so. What would you say is one of your biggest inspirations about the sport? You know, you said you started out in fifth grade and it's continued on. So it's clear you've had or started on soccer, excuse me, and then transitioned. So what about the sport, or who even within the sport inspires you?
So for me, it was kind of just trying something new, and I stuck around just because I found a tight group of people. They were kind of like family, honestly, and to
Mhm.
this day, we're still super close, and that's just something that this sport does. That's awesome,
Mhm.
and I think one of my biggest motivators is my coach Josiah. He kind of showed me how fast I can be, and just how
Mhm.
much good training goes a long way, and good nutrition and stuff like that.
Well, speaking of nutrition, what is it that you do that's kind of like special in a sense of making sure that keep yourself being able to perform at your peak, making sure you don't have a bunch of injuries, that type of thing. What's kind of like that regimen for you?
So I think my biggest problem with nutrition is getting enough calories throughout the day. You go to school all day and you're going through class and your only real time to refuel is lunch. And so I just found that having snacks such as protein bars throughout the day kind of helped me feel my best. And I started doing these protein shakes twice a day, and I genuinely think this could be superstitious, but I think that they've helped me a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
What have you noticed? Are you noticing like your recovery better, or are you just being able your stamina's a little bit better? What have you noticed from it?
Honestly, I think that I feel a lot less lactic,
Hmm.
because being a distance runner, I'm lactic acid is always going and flowing and building up. So I don't know. I don't know what the science behind it is, but I do think it breaks it up really well.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, we'll
Carter,
give
you
you
talk.
some more antioxidants in there too.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I was like, I know Coach perked up when you said nutrition. He's like, oh, and what
yeah.
do you share about nutrition? So you don't want to jinx it. You said that's a part of your routine. So how do you prepare for competition? So we heard about the nutrition side being an important aspect, but how do you prepare for big competitions?
I think just I found that visualizing helps. Kind of thinking how it will go, just going there and manifesting, thinking about what's coming next. And my pre-race superstition, I watch Cars every night before a race.
That's actually a very like inspirational
Yeah,
show.
if you,
So
it's really close to track.
Wow. I hadn't
that's
thought about
dope.
that, but you're
That's
right.
dope. That's dope. That's a good way in. How do you look at your competitors? People you may race often, or a new person is like, oh, they run this time, or I run this time. This is my competition. So how do you navigate that?
So I do oftentimes find myself comparing myself, which is a bad thing, honestly, because at the end of the day, you're your own runner. And
Hmm.
so letting that get in your head, thinking, oh, this guy's his PR is 10 seconds faster than mine or something crazy. And then just letting that get to you. I think just putting that aside and then just running out there, doing your own thing, running your own race, and then just competitively staying in there. I think something great about our sport, other than football or basketball, the players are always beefing with each other. But in track, I feel like it's one big family. Everybody gets
Hmm.
along, I feel like.
Hmm.
And so a lot of my competitors that I race every week, I've gotten really close with, pretty good friends with a lot of my competitors.
Yeah, we say that about track coaches as
Yeah.
well. It's like they're the cool people of the coaching crew.
Right.
It's like no animosity whatsoever. You could be in a meeting,
Right.
you'd be like, "Hey, I think your kid needs to do this," and they're
Right.
receptive and
Yeah.
open to it. It's like it's a different level of it's a different spirit of competition, I
Hmm.
would say, when
Hmm.
it comes to track and field. And so that's that. I mean, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised that you say it as an athlete because I see it all the time. What would you say are like some of the life lessons track has taught you thus far?
Definitely patience. If you're just impulsive, you go out in your first lap of the mile sprinting, trying to lead. The end, you get heavy and you get built up and you start to tighten and everybody starts going past you. Instead of coasting, which is how life is, if you're not patient and just go straight after what you want, it gives you less time to think and more times to make a big mistake or other problems that may come with that.
That's really cool. Like you're highlighting how those experiences as an athlete transition into a life lesson, right? And we always talk about, well, what life skills can our student athletes learn from running track? So just seeing how you're able to handle that. And so, how do you look at winning and losing?
Well, obviously there's winners and losers, but you got to look at losses and I mean see that one race. It's not going to bring you down. Nobody's going to care what happened at a dual meet that happened in 2024. Nobody's going to look back at that and be like, "Oh, that person is a loser." And so just translating into that, not being hard on yourself, but also not letting the wins go to your head. One
Mm-hmm.
win is not, it doesn't define your career.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being cocky about that, I feel like it's unneeded. Every now and then, everybody needs to get humbled.
Hmm.
That's very true.
Yeah. Now, what would you say, being at, you're a pretty level-headed guy. How would you define your successes when it comes to track and field?
Honestly, I think that my successes have come more from my team, my class, just my graduating class. Looking into my entire school history, we're we're getting titles that we haven't won in 30 some years.
Wow.
We're the best we've been in years, and I think that everybody just contributing builds towards that success. Now, for my own personal success, I think that just being fit and giving myself the opportunity to keep doing this, because running is something you can do forever, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, with that, you were talking about the team success. What what would you say makes you a great teammate?
Mhm.
Well, I do run the 4x4. Um, I think just I like to go around and encourage athletes who I can tell are struggling because I have been there. Just being down on yourself for not being able to hit a pace or to hit a time. I know that sucks, and so being able to come back and get somebody to build you up, I
Mhm.
think that's really important because it is really hard to get down on yourself in this sport.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I like I'll run the 4x4.
Hmm.
You know, in track, typically everyone works hard, right? You say, oh, I'm a hard worker. So, what would you say is different about you and your work ethic for the sport?
So I think I grew up on a farm. I still grow up on a farm. It's a small cattle farm, but I think that kind of taught me hard work. And so kind of coming in that background, just knowing I'm here to outwork everybody is kind of my mentality. And so yeah, I think that's what sets me aside.
And how do you handle, you talked about your coach earlier pushing you. So, how do you handle constructive criticism or negative feedback, I should say, about, your performance or what you could do better?
I think that sometimes it's hard to take, especially as soon as you finish someone walking over saying, "Hey, you should have done this." It's like, let me think about it first. But yeah, no, it is good to get that, especially from coaches, as long as it's not just the little things, just something that you know you could have done different and something you maybe didn't realize you could have done different. I think that is very important.
Well, Michael, I'm just thinking like you're with it being a distance runner, every race is you have time to plan and strategize and kind of plot. Like, so what is your like pre-race? Like how do you map that out over a course of a season? Are
Mhm.
you like playing with different race strategies? Are you you know, playing with your training? Are you using technology to help you? Like all these different things. What is it that you're doing to get yourself better from week to week?
What I think has helped me the most with just my strategies and races, I watch an unhealthy amount of track. Matthew
No such
Centrowitz is
thing.
I love watching him because he's perfect. He won the 2016 Rio Gold in the 1500.
Mhm.
Slowest time in years, first American in like 40 some years, I think, to win gold. Just tactically playing the field like that, it's crazy. And then even guys like Jakob Ingebrigtsen, whose plan is to just take it out and just stretch the pack out. I think just watching how that could work and how maybe if I try this in one of my races, maybe that could work. And so I think just watching it overall, technology, I wouldn't say we really use that heavily of technology. We have a lot of outdated stuff, to be honest, since our school's so tiny. We don't really have that kind of funding. So I think just a good old stopwatch and then just going out and giving your best. For technology, I guess you could count spikes because that technology has gotten crazy in these past few years.
Yeah, and it's funny you said it. It has. I did you
Yes.
I was watching the I think it was the Sprint documentary where they're talking about how they have a
Yeah.
carbon plated spike now that's supposed to make you run faster or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot
Wow.
of stuff in terms of that technology. But I
Right.
know in some a lot of the distance guys they'll wear the Garmin watches and they'll be running
Hmm.
forever.
Right here.
Oh
Oh,
look.
he's saying he'll use technology and pulls out the
Right,
watch,
right.
right?
It's on right now. Yeah,
That's
okay.
cool. Carter, how are your parents involved or your village? What does that look like? Because you're running all year round, cross country then indoor and then outdoor.
So I have probably the most supportive parents. They put up with going to meets that are far away. They help me pay for expensive things because running shoes aren't cheap.
Mhm.
And yeah, just being able to cool me down or maybe help me get through a tough race or stop staying mad at myself. And also just yeah, just having knowing they're there to support me. I think that that kind of pushes me forward.
Awesome.
Okay.
What's your parents' name? Shout them out.
Um, my mom Amy, my stepdad Jared, my dad Dave, and then my stepmom Kylie.
Awesome. Shout
Love
out
them
to the
all.
parentals.
Yeah, yeah. I know you talk about being growing up on a farm and that culture. What is that like when it comes to like is that like the culture of the school? Like most of your people at your school grew up on farms and everybody's kind of hanging the same way?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's everywhere you look is a cornfield. Um, yeah, it's a good culture though. I feel like it's a more tightly knit community.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Now, have you played any other sports or has it just been running from the beginning?
Yeah, no, it's really been running. When I was younger, I tried basketball, and I'm possibly the most uncoordinated human. So, yeah, all I do is run.
So I'm curious, right? As a cross country runner, you run in rain, sleet, shine, snow. So even in the track realm, what would you say has been the like craziest weather that you've competed in? And how did you
Um,
adapt, right? It's like, oh, it wasn't supposed to snow.
so honestly, the craziest weather I've ran in, wouldn't be a school race. I ran a half marathon in Zionsville, and it was 30 some degrees. I had a hand bottle and it froze to my hand, so I had to throw it out. Um, yeah, no, I finished and said I'm never running this far again.
Wow.
You never know. You never know.
That's a good story to have, though.
It
But
is, and it may come back on you some at some point in time. So
yeah.
Carter, what are some of like your goals? What are your big, the long shot dreams, or just the big goals for you when it comes to track and field as a sport overall?
Some major goals of mine. I'm yet to make it to a state meet, so I think that that's a good goal for this year. I think that I've been putting in the work, and in my heart, I'm one of the better runners in the state. That may not be true, but if I feel like I go in with that mentality, that it may hurt that it doesn't happen, but if I dream big dreams, I feel like I can aspire and do that.
I would agree. And this is your junior year, correct?
Yeah,
Well, let me just tell you, most people don't make it their freshman and sophomore year. It's a rare beast
yeah,
to make it their freshman
yeah.
and sophomore year. Usually when it comes about junior year, okay, yeah. So it sounds like things are starting to align for you.
Mhm.
Any hopes of like longer term, maybe college or beyond?
Yeah, I would love the chance to compete in college. And even after that, I mean, every runner's dream is to go pro. I feel like
Mhm.
that's really hard to do. The amount of athletes that go pro is very low. But again, just going to college, finding a right fit, and seeing how good I can really be, and then just making me the best runner I can be.
Sounds good. Because see, you're not working with a lot of technology, as you say.
Mhm.
Right. We'll
Even though
get
you
you
got
in
that watch,
right.
you got that nice watch.
But we'll get you in a college weight room. I can only imagine what that would look
Right,
like, you know?
right,
Huh,
right.
that would, yeah. Hmm. Be something to see.
What, yeah, what advice would you give a younger athlete, right? A young Carter who's thinking about the sport or in the sport? What are some things that you wish someone would have told you?
The talent is there. It's just working to bring it out,
Mhm.
and also just have fun while it lasts. It's you only get 4 years of high school running, and so I feel like you should enjoy that with the people you can, just with your teammates.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, Carter, we appreciate you joining us. Uh,
Yes,
this has been
Thank you for
great.
having me on.
Yeah,
yes,
this has been
absolutely.
great.
I'm so
We,
glad you're a coach.
well, and if you
This,
wanted to, like, if people want to follow
Yes.
you and keep up with you,
Mhm.
what type of, what social media should they look at? What, is it your Instagram handle or whatever, for them to kind of follow along your career?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Carter Cline 27, and then I'm on Strava as well as just Carter Cline. That's the my main social.
Strava?
No, I gotta
I know. What is
me.
that?
It's me writing down on
It's
my
running
notes.
Facebook.
Oh, it's a running
Strava's?
Facebook.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
Really?
only the cool people are on it.
Clearly. Clearly, Carter. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Learn
So
something
it's
new.
Strava?
Strava is Strava.
Yeah.
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 .com.
Okay. Is it .com? Because we need to be on that thing. We're
I
trying to be
know.
It's
important
its own
too.
app. I'm sure there is a website though. Yeah, I'd
Oh,
recommend jumping on.
oh,
Yeah, we can put our like, yeah, that'll expand. Yeah. Oh, yes.
okay.
Okay, Carter.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Name drop.